Hello and welcome to day two of the Leadership Mastery Bootcamp. I am Namita Purohit and I'm doing this free 5 day Leadership Mastery Bootcamp to help you accelerate your leadership, to help leaders live and lead at levels very few aspire to. What makes my work different is that I teach you with a blend of Eastern wisdom and Western psychology. And yesterday, in day one, we talked about the hero's journey. We talked about how leaders can strengthen their inner core, work on themselves, retell those stories, be more self partnered, and have the right self leadership qualities and build those in themselves before they can start leading others. And to strengthen their leadership, to strengthen their executive presence, to strengthen their leadership brand. And we talked about why those qualities are important for the cycle of the hero's journey that we all go through repeatedly, where we all have to go down, learn something, get mentored, get coached, work on ourselves, and come back up again and again and again and go to newer heights. So that's what we talked about yesterday. A lot of you have written to us that you have finished the worksheet, you have done your part in that, and you are enjoying this journey. And the topic today is day two, and I'm going to talk about uh, those who've registered have already got the worksheet, but those who are we're going to talk about how to build your dream team. Yes, because if you want to grow ahead, you need to have a great team backing you. And how do you build those teams? And what's unique in my presentation today is that I'm going to draw from some medicine systems to help you understand personality types, to help you understand the personality type of your organization, of your product, your own self, and of the type of people you want to hire, and how do you map everything together. So stay tuned with that for that. But before that, we have someone very interesting, very respected in the tech industry. We have Vinod Sujan with us, and I'll bring him over here on the screen as I introduce him. Hello, Vinod. Thank you so much for making it here. Thank you for being a part of our boot camp.
Thank you, Namita, for inviting me to
Yes, and
this.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'd like to give a brief introduction about Vinod. So, Vinod has been a tech leader for several years and has worked in various Fortune 500 companies as a tech leader, and then he has been a founder, has been a startup founder himself, and he's more in the field of AI and robotics. Vinod, do I have that right?
right.
Right. And right now he's the CEO of Arzu Software, which is going to go public in a few couple years. And Vinod has a very his passion is to help founders become ready to start approaching VCs and start getting the VC funding that they need for their brilliant ideas and their brilliant execution. So, Vinod, we've been chatting about when I started talking about the Lead with Ease Academy, and I put out a post in March. And you had then reached out to me that you wanted to be a part of the Lead with Ease Academy, and I was very intrigued about you reaching out to me and you wanting to be a part of the Lead with These Academy. And I was asking you in what capacity, like what do you see yourself doing within this program? And I could sense a lot of compassion as you were talking about it, that you cared very deeply that the there are a lot of great founders out there, but they haven't yet navigated that whole VC maze. And a lot of times, even when they navigate it, they end up failing. But their ideas are brilliant, their execution is brilliant, and you really want those people to get funding. And I could see you were coming from a great space of compassion for that. So I'd love for our audience to know about your motivation to help these founders, and also not just through the talk that we're having today, but also you are becoming you are being going to be an expert, an integral part of the Lead with These Academy, and available over different sessions once people join the program to help them with this area. So yeah, I'd love to know about your motivation to help these different founders.
Yes. So, as with everybody, I did not get here without the help, mentoring, support from all the leaders, the pioneers, the early innovators, and so it's only fair that I paid forward, primarily as because that's my gratitude for what I have so generously received selflessly from them. And it's important to note that the people who have helped me, most likely they don't need my help, and I wish they don't need my help. But I should be able to help demystify some of the things that a startup founder, such as even myself, did not know when we were trying to look for funding. And so there is a lot of wasted effort. It's not much talked about in VC circles also. Uh, so it is just the insider that I would like to share to make their life easier when they go look for funding, right? So they will have a backdrop to draw from.
Thank you so much for saying that. It's like you had some struggles, you had to figure it out and overcome it, and then now you're like, I don't want these founders to have the same struggles I did. It can be simplified. There can be a roadmap for this that they can follow, and you really want to share that with them as a
Exactly.
part of our discussion today, and also inside of the Lead with These Academy. Um, Thank you so much. So I'm curious to understand what is VC deal flow, because that's what you said you wanted to help
Talk
people
about.
with. So what is this VC deal flow?
Okay. So the VC deal flow is a term that is used when startup financing advisors or consultants are hired by venture capitalists when they start a fund. So a venture capitalist already has done their research. They know which areas they want to fund in, and then they without announcing the fund, the size of the fund, they want to anonymously scout for those worthy entrepreneurs who might be looking for funding. Okay. And so the VC deal flow is the opposite of what a normal cycle is, where an entrepreneur goes and knocks 100 doors, goes down Sandhill Road, all the venture capital firms, and they try to basically, it's literally cold calling, sending their business plan to 100 VCs and saying, look at my idea. VC deal flow is different in the sense that the the deal flow consultant is going to go and find, if they are lucky, they are able to find those founders who are almost ready to get funding, but they do not understand the VC landscape. They've never got funded before. And so
Mhm.
what they want to do is they definitely want somebody to coach them, guide them, get them to the point. And what better than a venture capitalist having asked, because after first couple of discussions, when you scout for the entrepreneur, so
Mhm.
when the consultant meets the entrepreneur, then they have to disclose to them that, without giving the name of the VC, they have to disclose to them that they were asked by the venture capitalists to find people like them. And since the consultant thinks, based on their primary due diligence, that they might be able to get them funded with a certain profile of a VC. So you will tell them, a tier 1 VC hired me, tier 2, how much is the size of the fund? Those things can be disclosed depending on, because venture sorry, the entrepreneurs want to know certain things like how big the VC is, what type of deals they have closed in the past, what their portfolio looks like. And
Mhm.
so those things can be disclosed without disclosing name of the VC yet, right? So there is then a contract between the deal flow consultant and the entrepreneur. With So there is one more fact that I forgot to say. A venture capitalist does not normally want to sign a non-disclosure agreement. directly with a
Mhm.
consultant. So what happens is the deal flow consultant will sign a non disclosure on his behalf, meaning that he is going to have permission to only disclose to a particular VC once he names the VC and says, okay, I've done my due diligence. I will take you to this VC. Do you want me to disclose your plan to this VC? Then he will have a discussion with the VC and say,
Mhm.
I found this person. Do you want me to bring to you? They will normally ask, have you done your due diligence? Because that's where the value comes in. They are depending on the consultant's due diligence. So they don't have
Correct.
to, they will still do their due diligence, but they, what it does for the VC in terms of value is they do not have to face a lot of noise with a thousand thousand entrepreneurs coming to them with all kinds of business plans that they doesn't even fit their objective, right? And
Right.
even if it does, a lot of people just apply, like they're applying for a job, like they will get
Right.
like
So
a lot of noise. So
so
it cuts
sounds
out
like
all the noise. It targets particularly to, I have certain credibility, or a deal flow consultant has a certain credibility with the VC. That's why they hired him. And I also want to mention is the deal flow consultant gets paid by the entrepreneur once the deal closes. There is a percentage of the deal size that is given to the consultant once the deal closes. The VC is obviously aware of it, right? But it comes from the founder's share, not the founder's shares, the company share. So
right.
company raises $10 million. Deal flow consultant takes 7% of, typically 5 to 7% of the amount that was funded in the first round. Fine.
Right.
And
So
deal flow consultant does not do is help you negotiate the pre-money valuation or things like that, because he's been hired by the venture capitalists. He is
right.
not representing the entrepreneur, but he makes the entrepreneur ready in the sense that he will bring certain value to the entrepreneurs. He will mentor them, coach them, and prepare them to get in front of the VC. So the VC saves time because VC wants to hear the business plan in a certain order. An entrepreneur wrote a business plan in a certain order and they might just go down the list. A
Mhm.
VC is not interested in going down because they already read the business plan. What
Yeah.
they're interested is in the crux of what their focus is, what they're looking for. That's what you
Mhm.
prepare them and say, okay, focus on these. And I will talk about that if we go further into this discussion.
Right. Right. So
So
I believe
I hope it's clear to you what a deal flow consultant does,
yes,
right?
it was
What
good.
what deal flow is not even known to many entrepreneurs. They don't
Right.
know that this happens, but it is a rare case because in this case, VC isn't directly approaching you.
Right.
You are not approaching the VC, right? So your
So
likelihood is very high of getting
So
funded.
sounds like this is like the VC deal flow, what you're talking about, in the consultant and the VC connecting with the consultant and the consultant scouting for different founders. It sounds like an easier place to get in than, as you said, cold calling and walking down the street and trying to connect with various different VCs. Sounds
Yes.
like it's an easier, softer landing for a founder. Now, what are the top three things that a founder should do to be ready uh, to engage in this whole deal flow process?
Yes. So I can talk about certain common myths and pitfalls
Mhm.
while an entrepreneur is trying to get funded. Uh, when you're preparing to present your business plan or a, an idea,
Right.
entrepreneurs need to understand how a venture capitalist evaluates a business plan presented to them, right? They are looking for team, idea, and execution in that order. They
Mhm.
are not jumping at, an entrepreneur normally tries to pitch an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Idea may have come originally to the founder, and it is very easy for a venture capitalist to figure out if this is an original idea that came to the founder, they have done work on it, or they have got the idea from somewhere and they're trying to execute on it, right? It's two different things. So, but that being said, a venture capitalist is not looking at the idea itself, because number one, when they started the fund, they did their deep research. Their analysts did research. They spent a lot of effort, resources, and money to figure out what type of businesses they want to fund. For example, they might have decided that they will fund an artificial intelligence enabling business in
Right.
the healthcare field or education field,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or in the fintech field, you know. So their fund is very focused. They know everything about it. They are experts, and they have access to more research than even a founder is, because you see, research costs a lot of money. So founder comes and says, okay, he's quoting Gartner. He has to buy Gartner. He has to buy other research. The VC has access to a lot more. Plus, they have access to entrepreneurs who have previously been in that field, and they have funded them. They have access to that mind share also. So
Right.
they're a lot smarter than the entrepreneur thinks. An entrepreneur going and pitching an idea to the VC is basically preaching to the choir.
Mm.
So the point to bring home here is, an entrepreneur is being evaluated at his merit. A VC is funding an entrepreneur and not the idea. He's funding an entrepreneur that he thinks can execute that idea. The idea is important, but it comes next. First, like I said, TIE, team, idea, and execution, in that order.
Mm-hmm.
So, team is important because an entrepreneur that has a specific idea and he wants to execute on it, if they are trying to find out if this entrepreneur has enough tenacity, is going to stay the course, and most important, are they going to be able to adapt to the changing environment, because the idea will change, the market will change even after funding. It's a dynamic world, especially in a high tech, high speed world. They want to the way to mitigate the risk is to make sure that the entrepreneur, the person they are funding, is adaptable person.
Right. And I think that's why you saw the synergy with Lead with Ease Academy.
Yes, exactly.
That
Because coaching takes you to the point where you can actually more clearly see the landscape and address it. If you lack the knowledge, if you don't understand, then you're shooting in the dark. So a lot of entrepreneurs go to 100 VCs. There is entrepreneurs that are approached by one deal flow consultant,
Mhm.
and if they take the deal, that means they have to agree to pay for it, to get funded through the entrepreneur, through the deal flow consultant, which not every entrepreneur is willing to part with. Then those entrepreneurs are better off in the long run. I could talk about that part also. But most important to know, number one pitfall is, do not pitch the idea, pitch yourself. They are
yourself.
looking for you, and they will have done due diligence, but there are portions of due diligence that do not tell about. See, from your resume and bio, you can tell the entrepreneur's education and experience, but
Yes.
the skills they acquired, the self learning they have done, has to be demonstrated to the VC. And this point has to be emphasized. These are salient things that coaching can unearth. So, as a deal flow consultant, They will coach the entrepreneur in all these areas.
Mhm.
My
And
idea is, instead of me one on one doing it with one person at a time, if I do it at a large scale, more people will benefit. That is what I.
right. Thank you. And so that's why we have the Lead with Ease Academy, where Vinod, I believe you're going to share the roadmap for all of these different founders and all of these different leaders in different companies who are all internally want to be a startup founder and want to, take their company ahead. And the combination is that we'll bring the whole mindset piece to it, which I've been talking about, and we have course modules and coaching around it and the peer community, and you're going to bring the whole VC deal flow part of it. And there'll be screening and there'll be support and all of that. Now, what is the gap? Do you have time, Vinod? I know you have a hard stop in
Sure,
a few
sure.
minutes.
No, that's okay.
Okay. What is? I know that there would be other such groups as well, which would be helping founders and reaching and meeting their goals. What is different about the Lead with Ease Academy and how you want to help these different founders in the Lead with Ease Academy versus what's available out there?
Yes. So, for example, I will give you an example. Let's take business plan of a founder. See, a traditional business plan can be sometimes is even the founder can outsource. They have a brilliant idea. They have even a patent on it, but they will basically hire an ordinary MBA to write down their business plan. Fine. So there is nothing wrong with it, except it's a traditional business plan. And what is wrong with that traditional business plan is it does not fly with venture capitalists. And the reason is because the plan is traditionally, it's quite intentional, it's thoughtful, analytical, complete, it's decisive. Okay, it has the hallmarks of all the smart business plans, whereas it is head centric. It's called head centric, which is basically, there is this is not a business plan that accounts for future changes, because the changes will come in the future. A static business plan like that is absolutely considered obsolete in the venture capital world, because it's a dynamic environment. It's
Hmm.
a new area. This is not like having a telecom company and having a plan on how to acquire customer. This is a totally different thing. This is like starting a Facebook and saying, how am I going to acquire customers? Right? And it's never been tried. So a VC is funding, then they need to be sure that this is not a head centric, whereas it is a heart centric plan. And what is difference in a heart centric plan is that it tolerates change because it is written with passion. And in order to bring home that point, you will need coaching of how to convert your plan. First of
Hmm.
all, it's not that that entrepreneurs don't have. A lot of entrepreneurs actually have a heart-centered plan already written. Okay,
Hmm.
so there's no need to be work to be done. But in order to, if we were at Lead with Ease,
Hmm.
would coach them and redirect their efforts into getting to the point where you present a heart-centric plan.
Right.
And so for that, there may be some handhold, because just saying have a heart-centric plan is doesn't work like that. You have to actually go through the process with them, right?
Right. Yeah. And we have modules for that and we have coaching for that, as you rightly mentioned. It's about knowing what is your USP.
Exactly.
What
Yes.
is your USP as a person, not just as you've been talking
Yeah.
about your product or the industry
Exactly.
or the product placement, but what is your USP as a person? And that's what they're going to invest in.
Yes.
Um,
Because you investing in yourself through lead and lead with ease, And then they will be able to see that you invested into yourself, because what is VC is looking to invest in you, and you are not investing in yourself, right? So you
Well
should
said.
be bragging to them that I took these efforts to invest in myself. That's what I said. You have to talk about your acquired skills.
Right. And so as a part of the acquired skills, when they join the Lead with Ease program, what they're getting is from you. They're getting this whole insight into this whole VC deal flow world. It's someone who with someone who's been there, done that, and is very seasoned in it. And plus, they're getting the coaching, the mindset coaching, the mindset shifts, the inner barriers, etc. And like to truly have that hero's journey that I was talking about yesterday.
Yes.
Um,
You see, I
Thank
will
you.
point out one more thing.
Yes,
As a deal flow consultant is only one person normally, right? So when
right.
they go and they try to coach, by the way, that itself is very difficult to find such people, because the entrepreneur can look for it, they may not find them, but they find the entrepreneur. And so even if they find the entrepreneur, now look at the burden on this one soul do all these things: coaching, mentoring, getting the business plan ready. There is lots of aspects that are human aspects that this deal flow consultant themselves may not have. So it
Mhm.
is better that a team is coaching you instead of one person trying
Yes,
to do all those things. So
right.
it is better in this format, I think.
And that's what makes the whole program unique. And that's why you wanted to
Exactly.
be part of
Yes.
this. And it's an honor for us to have you. Uh, it's not even my home anymore. It's us doing it together.
Yes.
And so are the great speakers that are coming in tomorrow. It's just so wonderful that we're all doing this together, and we're in service to the community and to
Yes.
truly help them in so many different ways. Vinod, I'm trying to be mindful of your time. I know you have a hard stop in 2 minutes. You have a meeting there. So, any closing words for upcoming founders? Any inspirational words? What anything you would like to share with the people who are watching this, the leaders who are watching this?
So what I wanted to say was that you know a lot of entrepreneurs uh, come from an environment which is much bigger than the startup is like a 2%, 5% small company, right? Maybe 100 people. They come from Fortune 500 companies, right?
Right.
So what I say is most of the time the entrepreneurs are passionate and it's under their skin and they just cannot wait to execute. But startup environment can be challenging because they have to put many hats, and for that they need to prepare their mindset and their heart, right? And because their emotion has to be configured and managed, so they realize that the challenges actually are easier for them to deal with. Okay,
Mhm.
so again, my advice to entrepreneurs is to invest in yourself in whatever way you can. They,
Mhm.
of course, they must be well read people, they do research well, but they also need to invest in the soft skills before they show up to the VC. Because
Right.
again, it's about the entrepreneur, it's not about their idea or execution.
That's a great way to close this. It's about the entrepreneur. It's about the person you are and how strong you are, how
Yes,
certain you are, how confident you are, and that's what the VC is going to invest in.
yes,
Because challenges will come, products, market fits are going to change, technology is going to change. But can this person maneuver? Can this person
exactly.
keep adapting to all of these different changes and make things happen? Is what they're investing in. So,
Yes, the entrepreneur stability is very key to the venture capitalists. They want to make sure that you are a stable person. Being
yes.
brilliant sometimes makes you unstable. So that brilliance has to be structured, so they will be able to see if this person is too passionate, or is he putting a structure, a discipline to his passion. Because see, creating discipline is also very important.
Yes. It's interesting you bring that up because as I'm building the different modules for the leaders, one of them is sustained ambition. Uh,
Yes, yes,
how can you have sustainable ambition over a long period of time instead
yes,
of, like going up and then getting frustrated or going down? But how can you just sustain and be resilient and just go on and on and on?
yes. And challenges will come, and entrepreneurs need to have tenacity,
Right.
right? Very important. What is VC is tuning in, they're listening, and they're watching to see if you have tenacity, and they have tools to figure that out. So it
Oh,
cannot be, yeah, yeah, it cannot be faked, but tenacity can be built also. But
right.
VC will see that you are tenacious before you enter the world, right?
Right. Right. That's interesting because a lot of times when people are talking about deal flow and venture capital and founding and Series A and all those different terms out there, they're talking about product, they're talking about the amount of fund the person got and all of these things, but very rarely these unsaid things are discussed that VCs are looking for. And
Yes,
it's interesting that you've made that like one of the major focuses of our discussion today.
yes.
And I think that's very insightful for the people who are watching, Vinod. Um, Thank you so much
So,
for making the time. And I am very excited about working with you in serving all of these different people who are going to show up and join the Lead with Ease Academy and help them, get their dreams fulfilled of being those startup founders and getting the funding they need and, creating
yes,
these beautiful products for the world out there.
me
So
too.
thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Vinod.
you, and
Appreciate
looking
you.
forward to working with you.
Same here. Bye.
Take care.
So we learned a lot. Vinod has shared some really amazing insights from the whole startup and the VC world. He has been a founder a few times himself and has gotten the funding that he needed. And as he said, he's had this amazing journey that he had to learn. There was not so much guidance available that he learned. So he is going to be part of the Lead with Ease Academy. The cart opened a few hours ago with a special offer that's valid till July 12th. And he's going to be an intrinsic part of the Lead with Ease Academy, where he is going to coach the different founders and entrepreneurs who are going to be a part of this to get the VC funding deal flow right, but also within the Lead with Ease Academy to also get the coaching right, the tenacity right, the mindset right, and all of that in place. So, thank you again to Vinod for coming and sharing his amazing insights. He's been very busy. He also has a few meetings before and after, but he's taken the time and come here to share his wisdom with all of us. And today, we have a very interesting topic, and kind of Vinod has led me into it, which is about uh, building your dream team. Yes, so you want to be a founder or you are a leader in a big organization. You're leading teams, a lot of impact, a lot of dollars riding on you, and you need a dream team to be able to uh, build and grow, to be successful, and to take yourself and your company to the heights that you want to, and then to also be able to free yourself up from, when you have a great team that's executing well, that's doing well, then you're able to free yourself up and you're able to go to the next level in whatever you wish to do. Uh, I want to introduce you to something called as personality types. That is very important, and I know you've heard about DISC and MBTI and Enneagram, uh, and many other systems out there, and they're all brilliant. But there's one system that I use in my coaching for leaders in order to help them and serve them and support them, and that system is based on one of the medicine systems, and I'll be talking about that in a few. But before that, I want you to know that the cart is now open for the Lead with Ease Academy, where you get courses, coaching, and community, and experts like Vinod and others who are going to be coming over the next few days to not just get the coaching, courses, and community to build yourself and your leadership at the personal level, relational level, and organizational level, but to also learn from these experts from diverse uh, verticals and interests to shape your leadership journey. Yes, there is a lot of learning that comes through structure, and then there's a lot of learning that comes through learning from the learning curve of experts. And that's what I'm here to offer to you with the Lead with Ease Academy, a complete system to help you, as Vinod said, uh, not just with the business aspects that he was talking about, but to also help you become that tenacious, that certain, that confident leader that people want to invest in. And whether you are somebody who wants to be a founder, entrepreneur, and attract VC funding, or you want to rise through the ranks in Fortune 500 companies, uh, even them, they are going to invest in you as the person and not just your tech or your subject matter skills. Yes, so how can you become that person that they want to invest in, that they want to promote, that they want to put at the helm of their organization, as the CEO, as the leader, to grow forward. And that's what you get with the Lead with Ease Academy. So I invite all of you to join. There's a special founders launch till July 12th, which means you get in at a very special launch price, and you get to become, you're called a founding member because you're getting in now. And the reason you're getting in at a very special investment price is because um, we're going to shape this together. So while I have created a great, brilliant system with the likes of Vinod and the other experts who are going to come, and also my experience in coaching from so many years and learning from my clients over the years. We also want to cater this to your needs. So those of you who join in as founding members right now, help us develop this program further. It's already in great shape, but we want to take it notches and notches higher to serve your needs. And the founding members who join in now at this special price, once you join in at this price, you remain at this price for life till you remain a member in good standing, and you get to share your ideas and be the first movers in terms of, hey, I have this need, can you include this in the program? And that's what we want to make our list, and we want to keep enhancing our service to all of you. So uh, you have the link in the description wherever you're watching, and you also have the opportunity to DM me if you have any questions. And for those of you who have registered, you're getting emails from us. You've also received a link to WhatsApp us or book a call with us to get more clarity about the program before you join. So, having said that, with the ticker, and I'm just going to hide this part so that you can see the slides clearly. We're not going to, I'm going to now introduce to you these Ayurvedic personality systems, and I'm going to share a beautiful story with you. So, a few years ago, there was this movie that was released on one of the great warrior kings of India, and that's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who was, the peninsular part of India, the state of Maharashtra, and that's where he originated. And he was a very, very amazing and strong leader. I don't have the right words even to describe how great he was, and his greatness. Even now, people appreciate it so much because he, with his warrior tactics and with his warrior mindset and his leadership and his connection with the divine, he was able to protect South India from the cultural and the material onslaught of various invaders who came to invade India, and therefore the culture in South India is still intact compared to North India. But then he also expanded, and he, through his generals, etc., they also expanded their reach across various parts of India. Now, there was something very interesting that I saw as a part of history, as a part of his story, where it was about him fighting Afzal Khan. Uh, and Afzal Khan was known as a ruthless warrior, extremely difficult to beat. And, he had cornered a lot of the different Indian kings, etc. And now he was like, coming towards Shivaji. And Shivaji knew that, he was known for his very brilliant warrior tactics. And Afzal Khan had a much bigger army, much more artillery, much more advanced systems to fight with, and Shivaji had to rely on his mind, on how do I tackle this? Yes, and one of the things that I saw and noticed as I was going through the story is that Afzal Khan was known to be a very hot bodied, a very high energy type A person. Yes. And Shivaji came up with two tactics. One thing is keep stroking his ego. Keep stroking his ego and let him feel bigger than he is. Because then he's going to lose sight of a lot of the details and he may make mistakes. Because and so that so let's just find different ways through our messengers, through our people to keep stroking his ego. The second thing Shivaji did, very interesting, is that the cooks in Afzal Khan's camp, he put his own cooks over there, got them employment in that through some kind of deceit. And then Afzal Khan liked certain preparations, and Shivaji told those cooks that he had planted in that to add certain ingredients that would agitate Afzal Khan's personality further. Yes. So he was already a type a high fire person. They added more fiery ingredients to the food. So that would increase the fire in Afzal Khan's body. And when that happens, the fire element is higher. There is more aggression. There is more anger. There's not so much clear thinking. And through that, and through the ego and the massage and all those things, uh, Shivaji and Afzal Khan were able to meet. Afzal Khan wasn't thinking very clearly about what all Shivaji was capable of. He had kind of started underestimating his enemy because of his ego, and also because of the food kind of creating further increased fire in his body and some kind of agitation in the mind. And then Shivaji Maharaj goes with those claws, those iron tiger claws, and when he's hugging him, and Shivaji knows exactly the anatomy of the person, and he's able to kill Afzal Khan and just protect a major part of India from Afzal Khan's onslaught. Yes, so this is warfare. This is leadership by understanding personality types and understanding how to keep things in balance and how to agitate things. Now, am I asking you as a leader to agitate your people and do these different tactics and get them on board? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is to introduce a very interesting concept to all of you, which is about, here we go. And we're going to talk about these personality types now, which is about, let me get the right slide in front of you. Yes, which is about through Ayurveda, the Indian system of medicine. It recognizes that everything in the world is made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These five things in different combinations, right? And within us, our human bodies also have these in different combinations. Let me see if this is can be bigger for you. No, cannot be bigger. Okay, let's keep it this way, right? So you have these five earth, water, fire, air, and ether in different combinations, right? So you have the vata. So then there are three doshas or three categories that are made on that. Vata is a combination of ether and air, or prana and air. Kapha is a combination of the earth element and the water element, and Pitta is a combination of the water and the fire element. And Afzal Khan was clearly a high Pitta person. And that's what Shivaji Maharaj played with. Now, based on these three things, every human being can have a Vata predominant personality and Kapha as a secondary nature, or a Kapha predominant personality and a Vata or a Pitta as a secondary trait, dominant trait, or a Pitta as a predominant characteristic and a Kapha and a Vata as the next level of trait. So now, what do these traits signify and what they mean is that a Vata person is going to be very quick, because the nature of air is to move. So the Vata person is going to be very quick to move, nimble, light, and can make a lot of things happen. But when the Vata is disturbed, the same person can be very anxious, very agitated, very nervous, very depressed, and all of that. Yes. The Kapha is because it's earth and water, likes a lot more structure, and may not be very fast moving, but they like structure, they like stability, and they are able to be great administrators. They're able to be great uh, conflict resolution people, great at all of these different things that require balance and stability. Pitta, on the other hand, is fire, a lot of fire and water, right? So the nature of fire is to transform. You want to transform your cook food from raw to cooked. You use fire to do that. You use heat to do that. So fire is something that transforms and something that spreads, and that's the nature of pitta. If you want someone, doing um, quick stuff, disruptive stuff, very fast. Like Vata people can be very disruptive because their ability to think is masterful, and Pitta people can also be disruptive and they can get a lot of things done. They have a lot of stability of that kind. Yes. Now, depending upon this, there are different combinations of different personalities that are there out there in the world. Now, why is this better than DISC, and why is this better than MBTI, and why is this better than Enneagram, and so on? Um, uh, One thing is that when you learn how to spot these people, you can spot these people by looking at their body types, by their voice, by their hair, their skin, their teeth. It becomes easier for you to understand how and even know their inner scripts. And that's what I teach in the Lead with Ease Academy. There's an entire course dedicated to understanding these personality types, what makes them tick, which type of organizations they should be part of, projects and teams and responsibilities they should be part of. What are some of their unhelpful belief systems that these personality types carry? And what is the way to coach them? Yes. So that's what we're talking about. So let me just, that's what you're going to learn in the Lead with Ease Academy. And now let's look at some combinations, right? So if you have someone with a Vata Pitta or a Pitta Vata combination, and these people are fantastic in startup environments, in blue sky ideation, and they thrive. They're very ideal to thrive in a very disruptive environment and to also drive disruptive innovation. Something like what Apple and Steve Jobs did. Yes. And the pitta element, the fire element, can help channel and focus and transform. While the vata, because of, vata is the air and everything affects the mind and its ability to think creatively because the air flows. And vata is able to think very fast, very creatively, and develop a very well crafted solution that can even exceed, the expectations of your client or your stakeholders or the VCs and so on. Yes. So these Vata Pitta Pitta Vata teams are, they're capable of producing disruptive innovation with lesser effort than teams with other dosha combinations. So that's something for you to think about. So when you are building your team, think about what is it that you're trying to do. Are you trying to do disruptive innovation, or do you need someone more stable, or what do you need? What are the different combinations you need? And based on that, you can choose here. Now let's look at the next combination, which is pitta kapha and kapha pitta. So kapha is very stable, and pitta is very kapha is very stable, very hard to move fast, right? But you need stability, and also, but pitta is great at innovation and deep thinking, and getting things done. So now when there's passionate innovation, but inside the box, it's still within certain boundaries because of the kapha, because the stability involved. Now if you need passionate innovation inside the box, and that would be well suited for incremental innovation, like say the Microsoft Windows team, where there is innovation, but it's incremental. Yes, they're adding new features, but there's a whole kapha stability element of the whole Windows code base. They keep maintaining that, taking care of that, and then they keep adding a few things layer by layer. Someone like Boeing, they're already a plane company. They're already doing this. They already have the basic engineering and everything in place. Now, there may be some innovation here and there, but it's not like completely disruptive what they're trying to do. So, if that is what you're trying to build, then the pitta kapha or the kapha pitta combinations is what you're looking at, because that's the type of product you have, that's the type of organization that you have already. And if that's your goal, then this is what you look at. Now what if there is this Microsoft and a Windows that wants to do, like, or a Boeing, like well set a deep organization that want to do something very innovative and disruptive? The same teams cannot do that. You got to hire the pittavatas to make that happen, that I talked about. Yes. Next we'll look at the Vata Kapha or the Kapha Vata teams, right? So this is where there are R&D departments, there are large conservative organizations. I wouldn't call Microsoft and Boeing as conservative organizations. Maybe a little bit Boeing, but not so much, right? Maybe like a General Motors, where you are, the Vata Kapha teams, they will work extra hard to create breakthrough products and services, but they're also tuned to creating such services which are cutting the cost of manufacturing also and keeping the costs low. And these are the teams, these are the people that can go on and on and on for a long period of time. If there are projects like that that have long cycles, I was speaking with Mukesh the other day, who's going to be a speaker on Thursday, and he was talking about how the newer generation wants everything fast and they will do things really fast and they will excel in those things that need, quick turnaround and everything. But in terms of things that have a longer gestation period and that take long, sustained effort, for building whatever they're building, whether it's research or whether it's innovation, whether it's change, it's like something that requires high perseverance over long periods of times, and there are many difficult problems to solve. The new generation may not be the best fit for that, right? So similarly, the Vata Kapha is well suited for something like this because there is creativity and there is a vision, but then that needs to be sustained by stability, and that's what the kapha brings. So this is another combination to look at. So having introduced some of these things, I now want to shift my focus on the worksheet for you as a leader to start thinking about what is that organization you are building, and what is it that you're looking for, and what is it that you're trying to do. And that's what our day two's worksheet is all about. So all of those who have registered have received the link to the worksheet. It's in. So we've combined the two. Yesterday you got day one. Today you got day one and day two all in one document. So those of you who haven't done day one yet, please watch the video from yesterday and do your day one worksheet, because it's going to build a lot of tenacity, a lot of inner stability that Vinod was referring to today. Yes. So let me see what you can see. Just try to shift this and put this in presentation mode here. So, yes, here you go. Right? So, when you are building your dream team today, I just want you to think about the insights you got from this whole science of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, different personality types, and to be able to look at those personality types and tell by their behavior, etc., to know what their personality type is and to figure out what they're well suited with. So just try to, I just want you to capture in the first question some of the insights you got, because I'm sure you got some brilliant insights there about how you want to use this in your leadership. Is about, as you're building your dream team based on personality types, think about your own personality. Which one is it? Is it Pitta Vata, Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha? What is the combination? Yes. What is your project or your product or your current company's organization's personality? And what are you trying to build? And what type of people do you need? And what is your company's stage of life? Is it at the disruptor stage? Is it like at a yes, we're well set, but we're still innovating? Or is it like, okay, we're a large organization, we have a stable business, and we are innovating, but that's not our main thing. I mean, bread and butter comes from something else. What are you trying to do there, right? Now, I've also put in a chart there for you where you could look, by looking at the person, how you can tell the personality type. And I've also put in a reference for you about these different characteristics that each one of them have, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, so that it's easy for you to remember. And you can always watch the video and look at the combinations. Now let's go deeper into it, which is the next thing is about what is the team you are trying to build? What is the type of team you're trying to build? Are you looking for disruptors and innovators? Then you need the Pitta Vata Vata Pitta combination. Are you looking for innovation in a mature industry or company? Then you need this combination. Are you looking for maintainers? Or are you in manufacturing? Are you looking in projects with long gestation periods? Then you need the Kapha Vata Vata Kapha combinations, right? So based on the table above, based on the diagram above, just write down what you need. Like, and do you need all of the same type? Say if you're in a disruptive environment, do you need everyone who's Pitta Vata Vata Pitta, or one of those combinations, or do you still need, there are some functions that need stability, and therefore you're going to hire for those people, right? Now the next question is is think about your own personality type, right? And think about which leadership functions you will be good at based on the personality types that I have discussed today, and which functions you should absolutely delegate to other personality types so that your organization and your people are well taken care of, right? You may be in the disruptive space right now and in that mode right now. You don't have enough time to give a lot of stability to your employees in how you deal with them and how you talk to them and things like that. Now, can you hire some people with you as partners or as employees who can do that stabilizing role for your team? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because you're not going to be good at everything. And even as you build your company, you want to hire the right people to handle all of these different needs that humans have, and companies have. And it's not that a pitta is better or a vata is better or a kapha is better. They're all doshas. They're all considered as flaws. Because the very fact that we have the human body itself it's considered as a diseased condition of life according to the Vedic wisdom, right? Because the soul by nature is more powerful than the sun, but now we're covered by these bodies and our potential gets limited, right? So therefore, they're called as doshas. So think about your own personality type. And point number 4 is what I want to introduce you to is something called as strategic patience. Yes. So strategic patience is something because each of these personality types will have an evolved stage and will have an unevolved stage. And the example that I was referring to yesterday about that manager, that leader who would just, was screaming and getting away up to he reached a certain leadership level, and then for that promotion he really had to work on himself, right? So you were dealing with a pitta person there, right? My client was a pitta person, but an unevolved pitta was misusing that energy of the fire, the energy of the transformation, and the heat of the fire in a not so evolved way. Was using it in belittling people, ridiculing people, shaming them, and things like that. And then, as you got him to an evolved stage through coaching, he was able to use that energy of the fire of transformation, the heat of the fire, etc., in actually building a very strong team and company, organization for his leadership. Yes. But that was an evolved pitta who understood that I have this high energy inside of me, this high fire, this high transformative energy inside of me. And I'm going to use this for this, building something like this. Now, can you as a leader recognize these combinations, understand who's in the evolved stage, who's in the unevolved stage of their own dosha? And as I said, all of them are useful for your team. Now, can you, through your own understanding of these personality types and through your coaching to these different people of these different personality types, help them come from that unevolved stage to an evolved stage? Everyone is sharp and everyone's intelligent. You just have to help them evolve. Now, can you as a leader coach these people and help each of them operate from an evolved stage? And what steps can you follow? And these are some of the things I want you to consider for today. It's amazing how all of these different things are captured in the Eastern wisdom and Western psychology, and a beautiful combination of this. And I also want to tell you one thing, that this is not something like, if you look at the Indian medicine system, I'm drawing from the Indian medicine system, the Chinese medicine system, Unani, Tibetan, Greek, they all have this. In fact, the MBTI comes from the Greek humors. And if you study the humors, the Hippocrates, whatever he's come up with over there, it very, very closely connects with the Vata Pitta Kapha that we're talking about. They talk about choleric, and choleric is Pitta. They talk about phlegmatic, and phlegmatic is Kapha, and so on. So when you derive your decisions about building your teams based on understanding a clear understanding of personality types of yourself, of the product and organization, and of the type of people you need, and how you want to put in your coaching energy and also helping these people evolve, then you are going to have an unstoppable team. You're going to have a team with the right mix. You're going to have team with the right combination, and that's going to help you free yourself up to build even many more wonderful things in the future. And here we are with now the Lead with Ease Academy. As I mentioned, you are going to learn all of this that I talked about: personality types, relationships, different strokes for different folks, developing your own strong inner core, your own tenacity, your own stability. That's what Vinod alluded to. You're going to learn all of that in the Lead with Ease Academy. And we have our cart open now. And I have a special founders launch offer from until July 12th. And I just want you to see a little bit of, so you're going to get your own true peer group of people. You can't lead in isolation. You need to be with other leaders who are doing brilliant things. And even if you may not talk about everything, but just by watching them, how they do things, you end up learning a lot. You're going to have regular accountability meetings with your coach, which is me. We're going to have 2 group calls, mastermind calls every month, where we get to share our plans, we get the coaching that we need, and we get the support that we need, not just from me, the coach, but also from the others over there. And you also get access to a community where you can post your questions, get answers, serve others who are posting their questions, and form these relationships based on trust and support and growth. And also network with each other, give business to each other, exchange business ideas with each other, and what have you. Yes. And then expert sessions by leaders like Vinod, Sangeeta, Mukesh, and few many others who from my network who I will invite time to time to help you learn different concepts, to help you grow your leadership, to help you grow your business, to help you grow your organization, to help you rise in your career and get the promotions you need, and to you also position yourself according to your personality type in the right environments. Recently speaking with someone who had changed his organization because it was helping him with getting him almost double the paycheck, and you have to make those decisions to keep the fires burning at home. And very senior leader, but then in that particular organization, even if he was paying double, he wasn't able to operate at the level at which he was used to operating in his previous organization. So he was in a little bit of a misaligned stage, and that was affecting him and making him question and not feeling so motivated and happy about going to work, because he was operating at a very high leadership position in a company that wasn't paying as much. But now he was getting paid a lot more, but then there was a misalignment there. So recognizing those misalignments is something we teach in the Lead with Ease Academy, because the focus, one of the major focuses is uh, to help you know yourself better, understand yourself better. Yes. So getting those expert talks by leaders, getting those accountability meetings, and getting a spiritual journey, a leadership roadmap based on Eastern wisdom and Western psychology. And as I was mentioning yesterday, we're talking right from the Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam to Ayurveda to Patanjali Yoga Sutras to the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And we're talking about Marcus Aurelius, we're talking about Greek philosophy, we're talking about Sun Tzu, talking about so many different insights, and we're talking about cognitive behavior therapy, rational motive behavior therapy, mindset shifts, and all the stuff that we need from Western psychology to help us advance as leaders. So there is this very special offer going on right now, and the cart is open for those of you who want to buy from in INR. Please WhatsApp us for the link, and we'll help you with your payment. But all those buying in dollars, we have these different tiers. The insider is at a very low price of less than $2,000 a year, uh, which is if you buy it yearly, if you buy it monthly, it's quarterly, it's at the rate of 199. So when you buy it early, you're actually getting a 17% discount. The VIP is at $6,400 a year, and the inner circle at $14,400 a year. And this is the price to July 12th. The actual price for each of these tiers, you can see it canceled out, strike through below. And we will bring it to that price after our launch is over. Now, what do you get? In all the tiers, you are going to get group coaching and mastermind meetings every month. You are going to get expert talks and expert sessions by industry leaders, like as we experienced today, Vinod, and a lot more deeper discussion, group coaching, and things like that with them. And you're going to get a 3-step lead with ease blueprint, my signature method that I have been using to coach leaders for the last 15 years. You're going to get that whole success path to help you reach your meta potential as a leader. And that's personal, relational, and organizational. And we're also adding connecting with higher energy support there, because there's only so much you can do on your own, but you want to be able to invoke those divine energies to support your endeavors. And we're going to share those sciences from Eastern wisdom with you, and invitation to retreats and other expert talks and events and mixers as we build them. Yes. So all the tiers get that, but the VIP also gets a quarterly roadmap session, one-on-one coach quarterly roadmap session, setting session with me to help you track your progress, tweak your roadmap, and help you reach your goals. Limited spots for that. And for those of you who want to further optimize their time over money, can join the inner circle, which I am giving it to you at a very heavily discounted rate, where along with everything in Insider, you get a monthly one-on-one meeting with me to help you stay focused and stay on track. And you also get special inner circle privileges, which is direct texting support from me, check-in calls, extra check-in calls as needed. Yes. So I invite you to join this program because this is going to help you 10x your life and business. It's going to help you take 10x bold action, achieve, build massive muscle for long envisioned objectives and 10x results. Lot more friendships from like-minded people who are looking to achieve and looking to grow, support from the coaches, and 10x wellness, personal fulfillment, spiritual growth, business growth, career growth, leadership growth, connections growth, and what have you. So I invite you to enroll today. The bonuses, this bonus lasts only till July 12th, and I look forward to serving you inside. Please do the worksheet for today. For those of you who missed the session and joined a little later, watch the replay. Do the worksheet for this session. The worksheet link has been given to those people who registered for this boot camp. And then tomorrow we are going to talk about, we have a wonderful lineup of speakers. Tomorrow we have Sangeeta, who's going to talk about how she, while having a federal government job, how did she build a business and a family? And then what are the challenges of running a family business and how to involve the next generation? And on uh, Thursday, we have Mukesh. They're husband and wife, and Mukesh is going to talk about building businesses or leading businesses in diverse verticals. So whether you're an entrepreneur or a leader in a Fortune 500 company or a company, uh, with 100 to 1,000 people at least reporting, that you're serving, or you're a high potential leader who's getting there, you are going to gain a lot from these insights from Vinod and Sangeeta. Tomorrow, I'm also going to talk about building your executive presence, right? Building command, learning how to command the room and building your executive presence. After we've talked to Sangeeta about the different things she'll share, this is what I'm going to share with all of you. And then with on Thursday, after completing Mukesh's session, I'm going to talk about strategy, decision making, and crisis management. That's what a lot of people have requested, is about managing crisis and managing change. Change management and crisis management is some things that people who I asked, what would you like to see in the program, and those who responded have talked about. So we're going to talk about that on Thursday, and on Friday we have Govinda Dasji, who's a renowned author, a spiritual teacher, travels around the world and teaches, counsels, coaches, leaders in various things, in personal stuff also. But on Friday, he's going to talk about the importance of cultivating a warrior mindset for leaders, and he'll lead me in. After his talk, I'll be getting into the discussion of building a very strong leadership brand for yourself. So there's a lot of interesting stuff happening over here. Uh, this 5 day training is just a spark of the splendor of what you're going to get when you join the Lead with These Academy. Trying to give you a preview of what all is there for you. And I wish you all the best in whatever you're doing today. And may you have a wonderful day. Catch up on the homework, 4 questions to answer. And until we meet in tomorrow, and also make sure that you go and register for the Lead with Ease Academy. You enroll today and get the special founding member tag, get that special founding member position, and also the special